Hello. How's it going? I have tea. It has honey in this time. So happy. So how is... Oh? Don't be anxious. Anyone visiting you is privileged to be in your presence, dear. Don't forget that. And you a hot mama. I'm fine. I have tea. That's pretty much me set, really. I'm a little bit like, oh god. Not that I don't love this game. I do love Ragnarok. But like, I can't remember the buttons. I know I say this every week, but a week's a long time. And we've had even longer since the last time we played this. So I can't remember the buttons. I'm going to dial up. It's going to get frustrating. Tea. But your visit will be fine. Everything will be great. Anyone that's in your presence, privileged. And if they didn't want to be there, they wouldn't. So that's already like, smooth that over. If people didn't want to be around you, they wouldn't be there. Right, I'll stop drinking my tea and I'll get on with the game. Nebbies. I'll put my lid in my tea first. Sorry. Right. Tea lidded. Remote. Got it. Let's go. Oh wait, there you go. No need to overthink. Understandable. Everybody does it. It's not a bad thing. You are only human. But definitely don't worry about that. Crikey, if the bugger keeps coming back, then, knows what's good for him. No point in giving us tips. I'm gonna die.
If we run into Gryla, please don't do anything drastic.
Why?
She's my grandmother.
What?
She wasn't always like this. When she learned my father
yes.
wouldn't do anything to avert his fate,
His son has,
changed.
yes.
I see.
And I think we're about to majorly cock block him. Which I'm fine with, because teenage romance is like, I mean, it's lovely for them, but no. Right, come on then.
Looks like we'll need to find a way through.
No shit, bet. Can you be more specific? Yep, it's the kid, yeah. I know. See? Aha! Right, climb. Ooh!
Is that like one of those trees from earlier?
Is it that one? Yes. Crawl under? Wait, I'm gonna quickly check the controller. Because I really don't remember the buttons. Right, heavy attack, light attack. Companion. Interactivate. Rage, bare hand, secondary, primary, arrow type. Oh, arrow type.
Can you see anything on the other side?
Looking.
Get to bed and send in your daddy. Exactly. So then we can call him daddy. Don't know about you, but the idea of actually calling that, like, any man that other than Henry Cavill, because that Henry Cavill no, actually, do you know what? I think I'd still cringe a bit. Learn something new every day. I didn't think there'd ever be a thing that would make me cringe with dead man.
Get off of me!
Right, can I go back now? Ooh, I lost sound. What? Who? What? Oh. Right, can we lock on? Thank you so much. That'll not do. Look out. What the fuck have you not got? Oh.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
What is there? You piece of shit. Oh, now I'm poisoned too. Fabulous. Is the sound... Yeah, I'm gonna have to... hang on. No, he has not. He has not got your hubby. I'm gonna have to close that thing down. I was like, oh, I'll put the stream avatars up because that's cool. I like the stream avatars. No. The computer does not like it. But I do, which is a shame. Right, start from checkpoint. Pay attention. I did say I was going to die. Pay attention. Right.
Wolver!
We have dodge. What shield? Not that.
I've got this.
Aha! Not that's going to help me at all. Oh shit, safe. What did I tell you? Fuck you, motherfucker. Leave me alone. Can you move now? That would be great, thanks. Ooh, they are like rotten. Shit. Hi guys, I'm gonna die now. How are you? Fuck off. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm dead. How are you doing? Game is a little louder than you. Oh. Well, that's unacceptable. I did die. You're welcome. Just for you. Totally planned. Honest. I did say I couldn't remember the buttons. Right. Fainted. I just blinked back to this part because I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give the bad guy a chance. Or something. Nope. You're not very good at evading, are you? I don't necessarily mean me, because I'm trying to fucking evade. And he's just going, no.
A little bit of this.
You little bitch. How yous doing? I love how I ask the question and then I'm in the middle of a fight, so I kind of can't, like, read your answer. It's fine.
I've got you.
Do you though? Because, I mean, it looks like he's about to absolutely have me. You go away, you big bastard.
Okay,
Well, she went flying.
take that!
That went well, didn't it? That went really, really well. Oh my goodness! What are you doing? Liddy, if you don't deal with them spitting things, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. Yay! Okay. Ooh. Oh no! fucking thingy. No, 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 no. No, that one, yes. Stupid ass. Fuck you, you piece of absolute turd. Thanks. Thanks for that. So, it's a furry game. Yay! It is. I'm not a degen. They bleed sherbet. Yeah, she has some kind of...
Did a lot of giants live
she
here?
has magic paint
One more
bombs.
time.
You want to know about your mother?
She lived this entire life before
So
she
sorry,
had me.
yes. How are yous doing?
But I don't
It's been
know
far too
anything
long
about it.
since I've gotten to
Sorry.
sit in your stream. I
I don't
agree,
know
it has
anything
been.
about her. Your mother left the path of the giants way before I was born.
Button.
I should also probably shorten up the time limit on this. I set this to 5 hours. I am not doing this for 5 hours.
Did someone do a whoopsie?
Well, that would be why it felt like it was.
Silly bum. It had a myth. Da da da. My Valley Girl voice timer. Oh. You can do that for 5 hours. I have faith in you. You got this.
Run, bitch! Run!
Okay. Oh, I can't get up there. Thank you. Thank you. Running! Oh, wait, there we go. Running! Just. Ooh. Life. Really? Really? I only have half a bar. Oh god, we're doomed. Doomed! Oh, what's that?
Lata, go!
No, come back!
This is Gryla's home. No lights. She may still be checking her traps.
What'd you send
but
it
she
away
might have more
for?
animals inside. We have to be quick.
Bitch. That was adorable. Do you know what? I don't feel guilty about the fact that I didn't cockblock these two now. She sent away the fluffy.
There's another way in, up there. We'll have to figure out how to get to it.
Wow, your grandma has a really nice house. I shouldn't judge. Bella, can you please stop fighting with the carpet if you would be so kind? Thanks, pet. Good girl.
Maybe there's a way up on the other side.
No, you're not
but
coming
I won't
up
be able
yet.
to get across.
I think I'm here that can calm my nerves. No problem, my dear. Don't you worry. Like I said, hot mama, you got this. You'll be fine. Bit of whiskey won't hurt. Oh.
Careful.
I know that, shut up. Must be on this side. I knew that too, shut up. I did the wrong thing. Bella, you will get, like, knocked in a minute. Wait a minute, where the flippin' hell is it then? You saw that, didn't you? The whole shiny, wiggly business.
Can you see another way to get me up there?
Well, I was trying to. Oh, maybe I've got to... Oh.
Get off him!
There you go.
Hang on. create a way up for you.
Thanks.
So, Gryla, what does she need animal souls for anyway?
She can live moments from their lives. Finally feel free. The wind in their fur as they run. Their only worries being what to hunt and where to sleep. But it's not real.
Oh.
Yeah, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey bit. Can you hit that fucking thing? Thank you so much. Kids. I say like I'm not going to be looking around when there's an obvious answer in front of my face and I'll be like, what's it there? Nice what she's done with the place. I love blood-soaked rope. It's the...
Careful.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Ryla's still out.
Wow, the things are so big. Where's the wolf?
There's a door to the cellar over here. She might keep the animals.
How is she that big if her grandma's this big? What small person saw a descendant of this giant person was like, I'm gonna top that? That's a stupid question. What giant person saw that small person and was like,
Loki,
I'm
we
gonna
should
let
get
that hit
moving
me?
if we're gonna do this.
What the fuck? I'm like fucking Tom Thumb.
We should hurry up.
You shut up. I don't know if I've asked this yet, so I'm just going to ask it again. Have you got much going on with your Sunday? Oh, have I just done a full circle? Motherfucker.
The key's already in the
Probably
lock.
shouldn't have smashed
Just
that.
gotta turn it.
Loki,
Hey, we know my future, and it doesn't involve us getting killed by your grandma.
not how it works.
Oh.
Almost. Got it.
I swear to God, there's a giant face here. I'm just waiting for giant face to pop up on the screen. And the screen is quite sizable and not that far from my head. So, like, I will be, like, dead cool and calm and collected. Cutting, staining, and nailing trim boards. Ooh! And maybe some drinking. Mild drinking. How did the rest of the drinking stream go?
Yappa!
Goodbye. Barrel of Hagrid.
I think I can hear something breathing near the back of the cellar.
Well, let's
too.
not fucking go
I'm
that
not
way
hearing
then,
your
yeah?
voice.
No. No. I don't wanna. Not my circus. Not my monk. Pretty damn good. It wasn't until the last couple of games we really started drinking. Oh! I'm glad everyone enjoyed the fun house so much.
We need to find a way back there.
Why would you want to willingly go to the back of a cave that is this massive and dangerous when you can hear something breathing? No. We started to suck kinda a lot. Fair? Oh, okay, maybe not. Ooh, shiny. Mine. Aha.
That's it.
So what is the worst map on there? Or what was the worst map for you last night? Because I'm going to assume it wasn't Funhouse. I don't think you did that bad on Funhouse from what I saw. That's the only time we've completed it. Oh. Oh well, you're welcome. See, I was building character. Oh, it's a good thing. I'ma die. $100% dead. Admittedly.
Can't feel anything. Just like the other
Facility
one.
sucked worst of all. But now that we've been forced to play so much,
There's not much
excuse
more
me,
we
I
can
don't
do.
hate it quite as bad. Good. I think good. I'm thinking 2 condos at this point
Hold this.
is the worst map. Oh. 2 condos.
What are you-
You didn't have a least favorite giant, did you?
What?
Never mind.
Am I about
This
to
one.
put a giant into
No.
a snake?
You can't.
Your mother said I'd know what to do with these.
Yes, eventually. I just gave them to you.
I know. But he can't hide forever. Right? And we can't just leave it here to die.
Are you sure?
I mean, you could. Just saying.
No.
I'm putting the soul of a giant into a fucking giant snake. What could go wrong? I'm gonna put it as
I actually
fucking
don't know how to do
nose.
this part.
Okay. Together, then?
X!
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Am I gonna have to fight this thing? Hello there. How's it going? Nice doggy.
Wait! That's it? Where's it going? That even work?
I don't know. Here. But you're giving up already? They're your
It's
responsibility.
not that. It's not. I just think they're better off with you.
Loki,
He has one failure.
are you certain?
Well, it wasn't even a failure. The fucking thing flew off. Well, slithered.
Call me Atreus.
One fuck up,
Okay.
and he's gonna go home with his tail between his legs. Honestly. Yeah, you should look shit.
Let's get back. Head up the
Gosh.
stairs again.
Darn it.
I'm sorry. I just...
We'll have to get out the same way we came in. She can't know we were here.
Then we better put that cup back when we get to it.
Ooh, what's these?
No way. Is that... Yala?
Sure is. This is an old one.
I spilled the milk. Just freaking out. Oh no. Little wussy bitch. Yeah. Fucking pussy old fam. You spilled the milk. That's just Ugh. I don't even have a sound.
Yes, very sad. Anyway.
Hello, Nexus. How are you, my dear? She's gonna know we were here. How are you doing? I'm not too bad, thank you. Plodding on. I broke the seal on the yawns. So, sorry about that. Jump, you little fucking pipsqueak. And as you can see, totally placid mood. Like placid giant crocodile. How are you?
Hey.
Oh no.
We have to close the door.
I've got it.
I'm waiting. She's gonna be here. I'm gonna die. I'm good, just working on the game. Ooh, very nice. Is it the Starship game you're working on now? Or have you gone back onto the farm one? Starship one, nice.
Hide!
Enough whining. Won't even remember in a moment.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
We're just going to kill him.
No, because we are going to stop her. I've avoided this for too long. She's not well.
There should be an ad playing in about 20 seconds, so I will pause.
You should be thanking me. What good does a soul do anybody? It's just a vessel for pain.
Right, we will pause while the ad is on. And you get to sit and look in my face. I know, it's quite unfortunate, but never mind, here we are. How is the progression of the Starship game going? I know last time you were working on it, you said you'd fix the scoreboard, was it? Or the best time? Apologies for not remembering specifics. I barely remember my name some days. I finally bought honey. I now have honey in my tea. I'm very happy. It's very good. Ooh. Ah! Ah! I know, don't worry. It happens to me every morning. Wake up, walk past mirror, it's like, fuck! So, scoreboard is fully fixed. That's the word I was looking for. Add audio and change some assets in it. And also got an Android version as well. Well, bloody hell, you've been busy, haven't you? I'm on making different ships you can use. Very nice. Have you got any inspo for these ships? If it's a Star Trek ship, I may know it. If it's a Star Wars ship, I potentially know it. If it's anything else, I won't have a clue. Iced coffee in the morning. No, just random ones I'm making. That's fair. That's fair. And it works. So, like, hang on, I'm trying to find a way to rest me feet comfortably on the desk and not smash everything. It's going well. It's going well. I know. So, I don't know if any of you were here yesterday when I was waffling on about the different kind of emotes I'm going to use, because obviously we have the new moustache one. The moustache. If you moustache someone a question kind of bollocks. I'm going to need 3 more. And I can't really think of any. I can do a panda hat. I have what, like, you know, the silly hats where it's the full-on animal head? I have a panda hat. I could do a panda hat. I've got the mini hands. They're down there. I'm not reaching for them, though, because, no. Only because it'll actually hurt us to bend and reach for them. But I've got the mini hands. I could do a shocked face with mini hands. I don't know what to do. And you guys are the ones that are going to use them, so it's like... Do we have a preference? Anything? Face paint? I haven't heard back about the custom ones yet. I will soon, probably. I mean, I ordered them all for a weekend, so, you know. She may have the weekend off. So wait for the business day. I just realised what the song is. Hello, everybody. Thank you for staying through the adverts, if you did. If you didn't, I get it. I hate them. I love you back. Right. Lid on the tea. Check. Yes, it is.
I damn near envy you.
Okay, the cauldron. Without it, she'll have no use for the souls. I'll distract her. You free the wolf. Then we break the cauldron.
You sure?
No.
No,
Let's go.
but we can't hide forever.
I mean... Not with that attitude.
I told you never to come back here!
That's right, look at me!
So many things I've forgotten. And you refuse to be one of them!
It
Oh,
doesn't
oh.
have to be this way. If Ragnarok is coming, wouldn't
I
you
thought
rather
we were
live together?
still, like...
Destiny ever do for anybody.
I thought it was still the cutscene. I was going to say, how am I meant to cut magic?
I won't give up on you.
But there you go. Hello.
God of Frey!
Loki!
How's it going?
Let him go!
Can we... Oh dear. Jesus!
Get out of my house!
I mean, I'm trying.
Through here, follow me.
Through where, bitch?
Hurry!
I don't know where you want me to be. Oh,
This way.
That's right.
I know.
Run!
Up this way.
I mean, I'm
There's a way
trying.
back to her kitchen.
Where are you?
You sure you want to go back there?
I told you, we have to.
I can hear you.
That's creepy. Oh, you just tell me you can smell me. That would also be pretty creepy too. Yep. Oh god. There's gonna be a hand comes through the crate thing.
Over there. Gotta destroy that cauldron. Can you swing across?
Oh, yeah, sure. You just stay here with the cranberries. Fucker.
Where'd you go? Hmm? You hiding? Should have stayed hidden with your pay.
Ryan.
Away from that! Champion of the Jotnards, here in my humble home. Having a bit of fun before
Nope,
your
miss,
father
miss.
croaks.
Woo!
About my father.
Whoop. Oh.
So you'll do well as Odin's stage boy. Shut up! I'm sure he'll make such a fine pop, you'll forget all about your own one. Shut up! Springandi Kangur.
Really? I just got dipped.
Why won't
Hello.
you leave me alone?
Because you're a dick.
I can't anymore!
Springandi Kangur.
Woo! Billy Elliot the shit out of this thing. Uh-oh.
Now's your chance! Get to that cauldron!
Why are you even here?
Because I'm trying to get a bit of your
Get
granddaughter.
away!
Just saying.
Undir.
Gotta get off the floor.
You're pitiful giants! The both of you!
There's a candle over there!
You're
Maybe she'll
fucking
get
rude.
stunned if I hit it! She stunned her! Hit the cauldron!
Oh, well,
I'm ashamed we're even related, girl!
You don't mean that!
I mean, she might. Just saying.
Salty kill! You won't destroy it! Get away from me!
I'm doing my best, lady. Like, really. Shit.
Dragahan Undir!
Ah!
Shoot those before they hit you! It's good dispeller magic!
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up! Ah! You stupid ass. You stop being a bitch now? Nope, miss.
Why are you so bent on hurting me like this, girl? I've done
'Cause you're a
nothing
dick.
to you!
You can't keep stealing souls!
They're just animals!
Get on the table, quick!
I'm fucking doing it. Jesus! Stop shouting at me!
Leave me alone! This is all I've got! What did I ever do to you?
Shit, right.
Get her closer to a candle!
Well, I'm trying. Thank you. Oh shit. Oh, get out, get out, get out, get out. Will you just fucking get out, you stupid ass? Ooh. Christ. Uh-oh. Did we do it? Well, obviously, she's a fucking giant. Yep. So's pet.
What did you do?
I broke
saved
your
you.
shit.
I should have thrown you to the wolves right after I pulled you out of your mother. Get out!
Well,
Just
Get out!
no. Let's go.
You think you've done something here, granddaughter? You are nothing! And no one will ever remember you! Not even Loki! You'll just be a forgotten chapter in his story! He'll be too busy mourning his father! I see you again! You'll wish you died with your parents!
I have a feeling she already has that thought process. You know? Nice granny like her.
You sure it's alright to leave her here? What if she comes out looking for...
She used to leave me food.
What?
She'd say she didn't care about me, but sometimes I'd wake up and I'd see a loaf of bread sitting next to the fire. Just baked just the way she always used to. She's not a monster, you know? She's lost.
You wanna walk?
Awkward. What I want to do, get comfortable.
This way.
But yeah.
I should get you back. You've
Not
been
allowed
gone
to
longer
do
than you
that.
think.
I mean, I'd probably feel a little put out if
Hey,
someone
Kubota.
broke my
It's
favourite
fine.
cooking pot.
This was a long time coming.
I certainly don't
back
think I'd
once we
be
reach the other
that
side.
mad.
Well then... That's 2 out of 3.
You never know until the
Atreus.
moment.
Race me. Come on.
I see what you're doing.
You know you want a rematch after
and
last
I
time.
appreciate, last time, I beat you.
I'm pretty sure it was a tie.
Pretty sure it wasn't.
So prove me wrong.
Yosti!
1, 2, 3, go!
Fine.
Hello. Thank you very much for the resub. I appreciate
You
you
coming
greatly.
or what?
How are you? Not fair, she gets the fox thing.
Oh no you don't!
I want the fox thing. Oh,
Watch the turn here!
not quite what I meant.
I have absolutely no idea what you're saying.
Sorry, you may
This
both.
field always smells so amazing.
Hello.
I assume her nose is much better like this. Don't get too distracted. Asa! Faster! We got him now!
Hey, I never said it wasn't a furry game.
No, you don't.
Well, he doesn't seem to have like any gears, pet, so I'm doing the best I can, really.
Those pods can only carry you so far. Almost there.
He doesn't have any NOS equipped. You know what I mean? I want that
You
fox.
really made me work
Look
for
at it.
Work for it? He rode a magic fox the whole way.
Loki. Atreus. Thank you.
I'm a
sorry
lot
she was
better.
so hard on
I
you.
feel alive again.
Me
Good,
too.
good. Being alive is good.
Well, I suppose you're ready to get home now. I'll meet you by the shrine when you're ready.
I am.
Do I have to leave?
Yes.
Not if you don't want to.
100% yes, you do.
Your prophecy was...
Get the fuck out.
You still
gone.
don't believe it, do you?
Have you been to
can't.
Manchester yet?
I think I'm being stupid.
Yes.
I think you care for your dad so much you can't conceive of a world where you let him get hurt.
Ow.
Come here.
That was silly.
I need to show you something.
Laufey? My mother's?
I wish it weren't empty, but... I know how it feels to lose a parent, to lose both. Your mother may be gone, but your father... You've still got time to say goodbye.
Bye. Oh, to say
know what
goodbye.
you're
I
trying
didn't
to
see the
say.
two, but
And I appreciate it. I do. But... I don't know. We've got to be more than a bunch of stories with our endings already written.
why is this chair so uncomfortable, man?
What happens to you now?
Swear to God, if they try and throw in a smoochy scene, I'm out. I quit.
I don't know. Like I
I'm signing
said,
up for this shit.
once you're gone, my part in this is over. So, you know, feel free to stay.
I think your part is as big as you want it to be.
What are you gonna do?
Roll the fuck over and go home. Mm-hmm.
No idea.
All that.
But I can't just sit back and let my dad die. I gotta get back.
Christ, does she blink? Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Huh. Stars here are different.
No. You just are.
I am gonna see you again.
Sure.
Because I want you fox. And that's not a euphemism.
Okay, now. Close your eyes. And hold that tight. You don't want to lose it. Home. Think of it. Repeat it.
Home. Home. Home.
Don't forget to tap your red shoes together. Works
Like
a treat.
that?
I mean, he's home. Oh god, here we go. Someone's gonna punch through the door.
Other home. Other home.
Yep, tell you.
Shit!
Oh, hello. Lovely weather. Fabulous. Wait.
Holy shit, I didn't want to go. Oh my god.
We got a brief glimpse of the voice. Harley! Oh, fuck off. Right. Oh, Jesus Christ! Fucking... Am I meant to attack them or am I meant to run? Fuck off. Yep. Yeah. Whee! Run away! Woo! One down. Oh shit. Nope. Ah! Yes, that's the scientific term. Fuck off, man. Dude. Oh my god. Double teamed. Oh, will you fuck off with that shit? I knew that. Woo! That way would be great. you
Gotta get back to Sindri's and figure out how to save
in the
Father.
face.
And I gotta keep Ironwood and Angravoda a secret somehow. What'd I get myself into?
Anyway.
What were you thinking?
I wanted to visit Fenrir.
For 2 days.
I...
Do not lie to me again! Why did you come here? Alone? Do you seek death?
No more than you.
Then why? Why? What is it you will not tell me? I have tried to walk this path with you. We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow. Because all that matters is that you are safe.
But that's not all that matters. Who's keeping you safe?
I do not need you to protect me.
You sure about that?
What do you know?
I can't talk about it. But I just need you to trust me. You kept secrets, but I trust you.
That is not the same.
Why not? You hid things. Mother hid things. You had good reasons, and so do I. Why can't you just...
Later.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. And he looks better doing it, too. Aha! Ooh.
Remember,
I was not prepared.
Sure this is a family we've met, lad.
How do you know?
Corporeal, but different. Looks like the bastard's finally done it.
We don't want to fight you.
Yep. I was going to say, can we lock on to the target, please? That would be great. Oh, dear. Woo!
Talk this out.
Seems she's in the mood to talk.
No, she doesn't strike me as a chatty Catherine type. Oh, out that hurt. Hello! 1 minute. I'll be with you. Or dead.
Why are you doing this?
Because she's a bit of a bitch. Basically. Put me down! Oh, not like that. Oh. You're a bit mean, huh?
She's not messing about, is
No,
she?
come with.
No!
Father, are you okay?
Oh my god, will you just fucking do it, you dog?
Yes, sir.
My disappointment is immeasurable. I'm sorry, I have that effect. There is an emote with the mustache. I'm gonna die. Will you fucking go into the rage? No, we don't want to rage today. Fine, it's fine. Who needs rage, right? It'll just keep us alive.
We're not the bad guys here.
That was close.
Yeah, I know. Lock on. Oh, you stupid arse.
Why won't you say anything?
So, hello there, Neon. How are you today? I do apologise for the lack of moustache. Let me rectify that for you. Ta-da! How were the holidays? Did you have a good Christmas and New Year? Oh, the glory!
Don't worry. Gravity can't harm me. I'm Neon. Ah!
Technically, the bullet harmed you. So you weren't wrong. That was perfectly timed, though. But you were not wrong. Gravity harms me all the fucking time. Okay.
She's not messing about, is she?
No.
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 Father, are you okay?
No.
Focus on the enemy, not
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Yes,
Shut the
sir.
fuck up.
That was close.
Done? Nice. My bad. Rage doesn't work very... Oh no! We're doomed!
We're not the bad guys here.
We are. Well, we're not, but... Totally are. Oh, yeah. Dodge that one. Dodge that one. Right. Oh, that one.
Don't touch it.
Knee shit, Sherlock.
Why won't you say anything?
Because she's a bit busy bashing my fucking face in, mate.
Please, stop!
There's a perfectly good child feed batter out there. If you don't mind. Oh. I mean,
Every agony. Every violation imaginable.
a reasonable break. Back at work these days. We do what we can. Hope we don't need to. It has, it's been nice.
Trash! You do not want this! Control your mind! Control it! She was our friend.
She will absolutely fuck you up. Behave yourself.
Atreus.
I'm glad you had good holidays. Our holidays were quite nice. They were nice and chill. Nice and relaxed. It is a shame about having to go back to work. But you're right, you gotta do what you gotta do. And as long as you don't absolutely despise your job or like loathe entirely, you should be fine. Excuse me while I have some tea. It's a good job. I'm just not amazing at it yet, so it's kind of stressful. Nobody's perfect to start at. Wow, that's easy for me to say.
For the moment.
Nobody is perfect at something
You're
straight
more
away.
used
What
to
the
me.
fuck is going on with my English?
Alive.
But at least it's a good job.
Atreus. Home.
And I have no doubt you will succeed and become
We'll
amazeballs
tell
at whatever it
when I
is.
return. Now I must set things right.
We'll take him.
I love those
Oh.
dudes.
Your Majesty. A pleasure to see you again.
Ragnarok.
Now you just know that translates to arse kisser.
You heard him, Sunshine. Come on, get a move on.
Why is she looking at his beard?
What is it you want?
refuse to remain bound to this realm. We travel to Vanaheim.
Well, okay. Guess it's just us then.
I love that little dude so much. Don't. He's well, he's not lovely, but you know.
One gateway to Vanaheim coming right up.
Why would you not look at that glorious beard? Do you know what it is? As I turned round and said, like, why is she looking at his beard? My brain was like, you'd look at his beard. And damn right, yes I would. 100%.
If you are still bound, how will you travel?
I crafted a protection ward that'll keep me from being pulled out of the realm. It should hold until I find what I need.
And what is that?
The source of the magic that binds me to Midgard. We're going to find it and destroy it.
I will help you.
Ah, they'll find and destroy the magic relic thing.
I know. That's why I still might kill you when this is over.
Hi, Harold. How are you? Hang on. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. Boom! Mother... Fluff monkey and fudge nugget. We will try again in 5 minutes. I am good. Good! I'm glad you're good. How has your day been? Or how is your day going? Because I can't remember how far the time zone thing is. How's it progressing? I just transferred freaking 3.25 to... Jesus. Okay. Fuck. I feel like 18 hours is a good time for that. 2 p.m. here. Okay. It's like 10 to 10 here. Oh, the wolf died. So sad. Is she following? Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Don't look her right in the eye.
Ain't going nowhere without this. Where would you mugspouts even be without me?
Ooh, I apologise. I have broke the yawn seal. So, you're just going to have to tolerate my yawning.
What is it you expect to meet
Be grateful
Kratos
I'm
for,
controlling
Highness?
my yawn, though. I'm not doing
Clearly
my
you've been
usual
quite
yawn.
capable
My
of breaking
usual
Odin's
yawn
curses
ends
on
with a
your own.
high-pitched squeak.
The other curses grew weak from Fimbulwinter, but I still needed help to break them. This one is held strong.
So all that trying to kill him, that's just your goddessy way of asking for help?
I don't recall asking you to come along.
It's 'cause you didn't. I got an old drinking buddy I've been meaning to look up once this joint were back on the map. Got a hunch lending you mokes a hand's gonna end me up where I'm going.
And what makes you think
don't
that?
know why.
'Cause last I heard tell, she was running with that beefwit brother of yours.
Freyr is not a part of this.
Well, my hunch says otherwise. Scrote, too.
Well, if his blue balls are saying that, that's how it is. He reminds me of Merle. You know The Walking Dead, Daryl's brother, season 1. I'm sure he dies in like season 1 or 2. Spoiler alert. He reminds me of Merle. And I kind of liked Merle, even though he was a complete wanker.
I can feel the pull of the binding curse. Its source is further in. Follow me.
Do I get to keep any of the...
Muggier than a Muspelheim shit pit out.
Wasn't that just
And
here?
nearly as fragrant. Suppose Fimbulwinter's to blame. But if it helps these two find peace...
This is a temporary alliance, Mimir. Anything beyond that would require trust.
Oh, please. You know damn well Kratos isn't the true cause of your suffering.
You're both as much a part of my suffering as anyone.
Shut the fuck up. What's the matter with you? Right. Oh. Can I set it on fire?
That's gonna need more magic than we got on us.
God damn it.
Come on, let's find a way forward.
Yes, my lady. Why is the cinnamon glowing?
Through here.
Oh no. Something's wrong. My spell, I can feel it slipping.
Well, that's
Hey,
Fimble
yay.
for you.
You don't understand. I'll be torn from the
Hello
realm.
there. Welcome in.
Something I was hoping to avoid.
How are you?
Seems I don't have much choice.
I'm gonna die. Sure.
Come on then.
You had a way around Odin's curse this whole time.
No. I discovered it once you unlocked realm travel, and it solves very little. This form is extremely limiting.
Well, I
Hey,
mean, you
how's about a riddle to take your mind off?
I'm in
What
no...
runs with no legs?
Easy, a nose. You'll have to try harder than that, Brock.
Just you wait, smart guy.
What the fuck is that? Da-da-dee-dee.
Watch where you're going. The plants are extra aggressive in this humidity.
I'm extra aggressive in this humidity. Chest. Up. Boom.
I recognize this market. Villages would meet and trade here. Why'd they never rebuild?
I can hear something. Uh-oh. Oops. Excuse me, sir. Oh, look at Smashy. Ah! Fabulous. Oh.
Ah! Show me what you got!
Behind you, watch out!
What?
Woo! Well, don't that get the old
Where has
juices?
everyone gone, I wonder?
Did
They
Brock
must
just
have withdrawn,
completely fuck that
hidden
up?
themselves out in the wilds and covered their tracks with magic.
Ow.
No way of knowing how many are left or how to reach them.
Aesir ran cockshot all over this place, huh?
You can thank Mimir for that.
War with the Vanir was never my idea. My idea was brokering the marriage to end it.
A great success that was. Obviously, the peace was no less a disaster than the marriage. Did he invade again as soon as I was exiled?
Look, the butt cheek man tried, okay? Leave him alone. Not his fault. Nope, not what I wanted. I'm like, where the fuck is my axe? I'm pressing the wrong button. Blah, 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 blah. I need to stop doing that. Ooh, look it. Just. They won't let me jump down. Piece of shit. Just. I mean. Good thing I kept my cool. I can hear it. I don't. Anything else? should not ask that question in this game. I will die.
A market, huh? Looks like they sure left behind a lot of goodies. Shame to let them collect dust.
That's one way of looking at it.
What's the matter with that fairy? Did you see it waving like that?
Huh?
Hello? You want me to shoot you? Because I can't. I like how game developers were like, no, because you know they're just going to try and shoot them in the face. No, we're not. Oh, so I've got to... Oh. How do I get over there then? Ow. Hello, Mr. Maxwell. How are you? How is it going? Excuse me. Go fuck yourself. Okay?
Oh no! I can't believe the game just did that to me. God damn you, game.
What did it do?
So, I used torrent to go up the torrent.
That was kind of funny. Need to do Harold's again, because Harold's didn't work. I try not to. I try not to miss any loot. I am a loot goblin. You know? I take my job very seriously. Is it going to work? Oh! Fuck off. Now she's being rude. Okay. Sorry. But I need to get up there. Because that's the only way it'll let me do this thing, isn't it? From there. So I've been that way. So that was a chest, and then... Can I go this way? Nope. Right, so... Oh, can I jump that? Oh, you silly. Silly. Good. I am not too bad, thank you. Plodding on.
So, which is your favourite of Gavassia's poems, brother?
Why would I choose a favorite?
He's a bit of an uncultured swine, isn't he? Where do I need to go now? Back up there, back up there.
Yeah.
Da -dee -dee -dee, da -da -da -da. I don't know why that song's in my head, of all the songs. It was a cat, sorry. Oh, ah! Oops. Nope. Yep. Oh, I killed that one. Okay.
Pretty sure there's loot you're missing. If you want to hunt around some more.
Really? Don't say that. I'll do it. I'll do it. I can't get that loot though. That's not fair. How's the game going? Not too bad. Not too bad. I've only died twice, maybe 3 times. Did he say that just to, like, fuck with me? I feel like he said that to fuck with me. I mean, there's that chest. Where did I see it? There. But I can't get there yet. That's clearly through here, right? I see no other... I think he's fucking with us. That's better than 79. It is! It is better than 79. Ah! I actually jumped.
Show me what you got!
Oh, nope, nope, nope. Back away.
I'm right here, you bastards! Let's go already!
Oh, no.
Go on!
Come here.
Being here again's bringing back memories of that wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy folks and quality meats. Though I remember
what?
your
Oh,
brother
meats.
stirring up an awful scene.
Why do you keep bringing him up? My brother is no concern of yours. Do you understand?
Oh, I understand plenty.
He brings it up because he's a dick. And that's why I like him. He is a asshole. An asshole. Well, tomato, tomato.
Hey!
The fuck is
The
that?
plant life grows more dangerous the further we go. Hope you're up for it, dwarf.
Can I kill it?
I know how bad it can get with one's own kin. Sindri and I were on the out so long, it was like not having a brother at all.
Ooh,
Now,
does it
I'd
have
take
to
some of the
open and then
fall
I
for
can
that
kill
on
it?
account of me walking out. But it never stopped me blaming him most.
Yeah.
Any of this sound familiar so far?
Okay.
And what is your point?
My point is, that weren't the end all of things after all. Once we got our heads right, it was like no time had passed.
If you
He
really
went
want to
straight
piss
back
off,
to
call her
being as
sugar
big a
tits.
pain in my ass as he
I've got
ever
a feeling if you called Freya sugar tits, she would
family.
absolutely
You gotta
fucking
keep
lynch
them
you.
close, or they make you good and crazy.
Why do you think I need to hear any of this right now?
Oops.
My focus is on regaining my freedom, and I have no intention of being distracted.
Here, here.
Look, alls I'm saying is, if you happen to find yourself talking to your brother, maybe the worst words said between you don't have to be the last one said.
Enough! When the day comes to face Freya again, it will be when I am standing on my feet and free. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I feel
it
like
will
you need
not
to shut
be
up,
while I'm
dude.
stuck in this preposterous situation.
Got a case of pride, I get it. Hope yours clears up quicker than mine did.
A touching story, that was.
Bite me.
You wish.
Kinky. What the fuck was that? So, how do I smash that? With this? Can I smash that with this? Yes! Nope. Right. And then I need that one. Yep. Right, one more left. Not a dodgy angle. It's probably around the corner, isn't it? Not around that corner though. Cooey. Where are you? Oop. Ow. Right, chest. Did I miss it? Or... I didn't miss it. Just making sure, because they are normally close, aren't they? So... A little bit of God of War, certainly. Hello, my dear. How are you? Did I... Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! How are you doing, my lady? I am doing well, thank you, kind sir. How are you? That's it. Sorry. Let me shove you out the way there, pal. Good, I'm glad you're doing well. Okay. That happened. We do have an ad starting in about 50 seconds. You're very welcome. Sorry, I keep trying to get comfortable.
What did
and I'm
Odin
failing
do to drive
miserably
everyone
because this
away?
seat hates
What
me.
weapons did he make the dwarves build him? How much was just Mjolnir? Can one man do
Mjolnir.
this much
See,
damage?
I always say it wrong.
Depends on the weapon.
It's a
and the
Mjolnir.
man.
Okay, so good talk. Oh, just so you know, when the adverts come on, I will pause the game and I'll just go into the just chatting screen and scare everybody with my face. And then, yeah. You won't miss nothing. And the adverts are about to start, so let's do this. Most people say the words wrong. Well, yeah. Until I learn the language. Thank you. You're so sweet. Did it play? It played. I'm going to torture you with this song now. Just for being so kind. Have I got any tea left? So how are we enjoying God of War? I'm quite enjoying God of War. I haven't died as much as I thought I would, which is very surprising. Do 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 do. I think I might put like a... I can't really put a poll up though in Discord. I know I keep waffling on about it, but I keep thinking I loved playing this. Got a day of release and then played it on the hardest difficulty. Woo! Well, 2 weeks before this came out, I got the previous God of War. And I'd never played them before until like then. And I was addicted. Like, bad. I think I completed it in like a few days, which for me is quite impressive because, like, as we know, I know I hide it well. Easily distracted. Collects everything. So, yeah. But then there was like, I think there was a week gap between us finishing it and this releasing. And I got a new fixation. And then I forgot about it. because I'm a terrible person. But yeah, sorry. I know I keep going on about it, but it's racking me brain trying to figure out what other emotes beside the mustache I should do. If you play the hardest difficulty, it completely changes the enemy attack patterns and timings. Oh, for fuck's sake. I barely get away with ones they use, and now, man. You need one of these emotes. I've got that one. Well, I've got that one. You do better than you'd think. Oh, you underestimate my terrible gameplay. I mean, if you think one of literally me doing that would be a good shout, then I'll give it a look. I've got the tiny hands. I know they're fingers. I've got the tiny hands down there. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. If you did, if you didn't, I get it. I hate ads. Should we move back on to more entertaining shit? Did I press the right button? No, I did not. Try again. Thank you. See that is? I'm fucking joyful. Yeah. Ads are accepted. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Were they good ads? Or were they like Amazon 3 times in a row? Like it normally is. Because, you know, he's not rich enough, Bezos. Get good. I'm trying. Need a get good emote. I mean, I do, don't I? I'll get one. For you guys.
What'd you find? Sounds shiny.
Sounds shiny. Fair. Right. Yeet.
This river.
Yeet.
It used to be filled with boats of people visiting from different villages.
99.9% of the emotes covered. Oh. Tastes purple. Does it smell like 7 though? That's the question. It's all well and good tasting purple, but if it doesn't smell like the number 7, then you good. Bad crack who? For anyone unaware, that was the language of my native people. A solid 6 1/3. I don't know if that's acceptable. It's not really a 7, is it?
Hey, Wolvers! Everyone shut your gobs!
But it is a Sunday.
Oh, someone wants a beatdown.
By all means, little Smurfy man, go the fuck ahead. You beat that bitch. It'll fool the unaware. No, I suppose. This is gonna hurt.
One of them hairy
Ah! Told you. Oof, ya motherfucker. How about you do one? I don't want to fuck another one. Whoa. Excuse you, mate. I haven't even bought a drink. Damn.
Show me what you got.
In a minute, I'm busy. Fuck do you mean? Oh god. Brock, you've got what? Oh. Oh shit. Oh, 4 bags. Back off. Oh.
Impressive.
Does that happen in your furry games?
Anybody want to taste? Come on, I'm waiting. I got no time for you.
Come here, puppy. Some of them are not suitable for work ones, maybe. Fair. Fair. I've probably got some books upstairs that happens in. I can't do that yet. Oh, maybe not. I thought he was gonna like skid under there like proper COD style. It would have made us feel a little bit sick, but it's Kratos, so it's fine.
If you want to keep your insides inside.
Preferably that is where I'd like to keep them, yes.
Yeah. All yours, big
Thank you.
guy. Your people not receiving visitors?
I wouldn't know. They're not my people anymore.
Yeah, Brock. Jeez, read the room.
Give me a boot.
Oh, I was gonna say I can't get up there until the shield thing's gone.
You don't
Go
go
on.
telling no one about that. Come on up. Bet you're glad old Brock's around to save you.
He does. He reminds us of Merle from The Walking Dead.
We should probably go get him.
Don't tell
Keep
the
your
elf.
guard up.
Not a word. Give me back my Smurf. I like that Smurf. Are there any collectibles? I mean, I like the Smurf, but I am a loot goblin, so no.
Get over here and cut my ass.
Yeah, I'm coming. Mr. Maxwell doing the eel. Oh, that doesn't look like a trap at all. I'm not excited. And I just can't hide it.
Quiet.
I need to put my phone down, but I don't want to die. Okay, I did it. You're probably going to want to stay up a height, to be fair, little dude.
We have here. Oh, One Eye, send another god to do his dirty work.
Thor too busy.
We do not serve Odin.
No?
That's our fucking brother, innit?
Picked a dangerous place for sightseeing then. All right.
Now. No need for threats, brother.
Oh, I know that voice. You know? I
Knew
don't
it!
know if you had,
Knew it!
But it seems somebody beat me to it.
Aye. Oh, quite observant, brother.
Oh, no, you're no brother of mine. You sold my sister to that prick.
We broke it a piece.
Oh! Did you now? Where is it?
He seems a bit, put out.
And where is my sister?
She's just flapping about somewhere.
Some dungeon in Asgard?
she even alive? Answer me.
God, his teeth are so like
I guess we'll settle for blood.
Tombstone. See? Told you.
What is that? Why do you speak in her voice?
It's me, Ingvi. There's no time to explain, just listen. These men are in my service. I'm here to reclaim what's been taken from me.
Service.
You can't undo what's been done.
I can. I will. Now let them pass.
Oh, oh. You shall not. Can I do the redeem of it? Ooh,
so,
ooh.
you
Can
saved
I?
my sister.
Thank you.
Shall not pass!
Thanks.
Put him down.
Got you, fam. Oh. Thank you for the return of my Smurf.
What's with leaving me hanging like that, you crusty hag?
Oh, can it, Blobber? Come here.
Well, found who I was looking for. Think I'm gonna stay and catch up.
Oh, are ya now?
Do as you wish.
Oh, I think
Brother,
he's going
you
to do
wouldn't mind?
something.
I'd have a word with Lord Freyr.
Nice pig sticky you got there.
Wish this camp kept secret.
Look at that puppy!
No, we wouldn't dare.
Good.
Oh my goodness! Just let me look at the puppy. Oh, look at it! That's adorable. It's just so fat. Okay. Oh, that's a nice bathtub. I know it's a boat, but I'm gonna call it a bathtub because that was the word that came to my head. Sorry.
Sorry, we got off on the wrong foot there, stranger. We're pretty used to only seeing Aesir in these parts. Don't typically get friendly faces. That is a friendly face, right?
His name is Kratos, and no, the Aesir are in Vanaheim.
Yeah, we've been occupied since... lost count.
What is your plan?
Still kind of working on it.
Brother, I think I could be of use here. If my counsel is welcome.
Oh, I'll take what I can get.
Your mission will go considerably smoother
I know
without
that
me in the
voice.
mix. Come back for me when you're done.
I'm gonna have to look it up after I've been on here. I
Kratos.
know that voice.
As long as you're working for my sister, careful you don't screw up. She's not too big on forgiveness.
A bit late for that one, I'm afraid. All right, let's see what we've got here. Tell me about your army.
Yeah, I kind of
What, you five?
Missed
Against
that
Odin's
level.
army?
Well, 6.
Hello.
Count a dog.
Oh, fuck me.
Did he just swear?
Numbers. Oh.
I've never heard him swear yet. I'm sure he just said fuck me. Okay, so upgradable,
Well, let's have a look at the map then.
craftable, craftable. Still not going to be as good. Yeah, I die a lot. I need the strength. Oh, gee, thanks. Chaos blades. I'll probably just use the only thing to. Yeah. Excuse me, sorry. Ooh, okay. So that's strength and cooldown. Strength and runic. I can't parry. Defense and cooldown, defense, vitality, and luck. Yeah. Ooh. thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome in. Feel free to just linger in the background and lurk or join chat. We are friendly. We only bite if you ask nicely. Brett Dalton.
That'll put some hurt on him.
Thank you. I'm going to need to see the face to go with the name though, but at least I have the name now, so thank you very much. I wonder what I know him from. Or whether he just sounds like someone else, because that does obviously happen on occasion.
About time I had something to do.
All right. Who should we have with boobies out? Oh, maybe not, because that is pretty good. What's this one? Good defense and vitality. Runic and luck. I'm gonna go for this one. Because I need the fucking help. Health and help. Both. All of them.
Damn! Am I good or what?
I love him. Right, that does have more strength. But tough. I've made my decision. So we currently have just strength. We could get strength and vitality. Or strength and cooldown. I think I'll add a cooldown.
You won't get so much as a paper cut in that.
Oh, I think I will get a lot worse than that. That might be where I know it from. Because I played Until Dawn recently. Thank you again. Vitality, cooldown. What do we think? Vitality or cooldown? That one does have higher defense. But I do die quickly. I'm gonna go vitality. You think? I do die very quickly.
That'll keep your bits in all the right places.
Well. That was to the point. Right, let's sell some shit.
Let's make something then.
Need one of these. Because did I mention I die a lot? Up, slag deposits. I was going to say, wait, I can sell them? Upgrade. Do I not have any of those? Equip? Or do I have them? Equip.
What are you looking for?
I don't know, man. What ones do I have equipped? Do I have any equipped?
You know what you want?
No. I'm female, of course don't know what I want. Stupid. Right. This one. Relics. So we have Hilt of Gram and Talisman of that. Oh, you can only have one. Okay. Spartan Rage. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that one. I think I'm going to keep it to boosting me health because I think we get the gist now. Got a light in the way, sorry. Right, we'll jump then. So, nope. Use normal barehanded, quickly recall the axe and perform a powerful spin attack. That'll cost 1,000. What about this one? It's a pause momentarily. I'm no good at that one. Forget this. Well, I really should have looked at the blades. What was available in the blades. Oh, that would have been good. Gosh darn it. Right, what did I say I had? Hilt of Grab.
Sure, I'm open.
Relics.
You can do it!
Thank you. I don't have a Hilt of Grab. So I must make these? Are these for the kid? These might be for the kid. Yeah, they're for the kid. Melee attacks do significant damage and sonic tails increase stun. I'll just wait.
Big man.
Okay. Where we're going, what we're doing, where we're going. That way. Room service.
Now that the distractions are out of the way,
I have words if you would hear them.
speak then.
This anger you feel for your brother, I know it well.
You have a brother?
His name was Deimos. When we were boys, he was taken by two gods obsessed with prophecy. The gods of my homeland seldom left survivors, so by the time I learned he had lived, it was too late for amends. His anger poisoned him against me. But I never stopped loving my brother.
You think my anger is irrational? You've known Freyr for mere moments, and already you're taking his side?
I am not taking his...
No. You're just sharing your thoughts on a subject you know nothing about.
I don't think I can do anything to this. No. Okay. Saul's pet. I mean, you did technically say that he could speak his words, so you shouldn't really get massively pissy at him for doing it. Just saying. Unpopular opinion, potentially. I suppose that was her version of a respectful fuck off, so. Oh my goodness, look at that! It's adorable! Not so much. No, G, you don't fuck off. The G must stay. God!
One enemy
Grab his
remaining.
dick and twist it!
Hvordan kunne jeg få 3 med en shot?
Yeah. How are you? Okay, so she's on top of the group thing. Bet. Just did that. Am I meant to be able to go down here? Did I miss something? I always miss something. I'm good, thanks. How are we all? I'm doing okay. How is everybody in chat doing? Those that wish to speak, of course. Where the fuck am I go? That's where I came, isn't it? Is it? No, it's not. Oh, look at that one! It even works. Ooh. Spot you bitch. I'm doing better than everyone else as expected. Of course. We know now. Well, we know by now. Us mere mortals can't possibly compare. Bollocks. Can I get down there without getting... That looks like... Where'd it go? There. That looks like something I should be able to, like... stab. You know what I mean? Nope, maybe not. Shut up, you furry. No, ladies. Let's all play nice. Handbags at 10 paces. At dawn. I can't. I'm legally obligated by Panda to open my mouth. Everywhere no one wants it. It's fair. We do have a contract. That looks suspicious. I want to look for like fucking spitty plants everywhere. I don't like it. Oh, I can hear something. Turn the fuck around, dude. Where'd it go?
An ancient.
Can the ancient... Is it friendly? Ancient? Nice doggy. No, that's not friendly. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Ugh. It minds me. Woo! Frickin' laser beams! What? I am Groot. Ooh, I am shit-shot. Ah! Grab what? Hang on. I need that. I need this. Oh, grab the rocks and... Okay. But I've got to wait until... Shit, balls. Ah. Excuse me. Where's the things that dropped then? Can you not have like a laser beam? Asking for a friend? Really? Fucking laser beam. Nope. Woo! Did it drop anything? Nope. Just like throw the rocks it drops. It didn't drop any yet. I know it dropped the two on the floor and I nearly died getting it. Are we not? No, we don't want that. Okay, fine. What do I know? Where are these fucking rocks? Excuse me, Mr. Frosty Laser Tree thing. Can you drop the things I need to kill you? That'd be great. Woo! I'm on fire! Oh, I see him. I see him. I'm gonna die. Oh, definitely dying. Oh my god, I'm on like a Midgie's knacker of health. Need to find some health. Anyone? Health? No. I'm gonna die. Oh. I died. Right, so throw the rocks. No problem. All the problems. Hello. Lovely weather. Fuck off with your laser beam.
When it's dropped and throw it.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck you. Group this motherfucker. Yeah. Let's jump. Oh shit. Didn't see you guys. Sorry. Now, come on now. Come on. No, no. Put me down. Ah! Nice kids you've got. Health. Thank you. Oh, bollocks. Oh.
Fought them before, haven't you?
Yeah, no.
Figures.
Had to rain on my parade, didn't you, woman? God. We did it. Okay, so. And I've got to readjust it. Oh, the joints being a cripple. Okay. I'm assuming we're going in there. Is there anything else? Right, we'll land back here. Okay, let's go.
I know what you're doing. Trying to play on my sympathies.
I was going
in
to
the
say, at
hope
least
I
one
let
of us
you
does.
live.
I am only trying to help. The mistakes of the past need not be repeated.
I don't need to hear about your mistakes. I've made enough of my own. Thanks.
Hello, Harold. You absolute beauty of a human. Oh no. I've gone into a stary. Now is not the time. There we go. Happens all the time. And do I have to go where there's random spines? That's offensive. My spine doesn't work, so they just leave them scattered around here. That's what I've got. Yeah. Now you're broken too. Right, so. Oh. Little bitch. They left you a bunch of replacement parts on the ground. I feel like they're a little bit unsanitary. Not to be the elephant from Tarzan, but... They doth not seem the cleanest. Know what I mean? Nope. Well, that was a waste. Fuck you, Fido. Yeah. Whoopsh. Brush the dirt off, they're fine. I mean, I kind of... I suppose that one's still intact. I don't know. It's kind of showing, like, you know, how desperate am I for that? I'd kind of, not gonna lie, I think I'd rather deal with the pain. Maybe. Well, I wish I knew I could do that before. No, we need the dicks. Oh. Okay. Show off. Right, so, anyway.
Everyone is so eager to advise me, as if any of you know me or what I need. The biggest loss in my life is due to you saving me when I specifically told you not to. Well, it was my family, my mess. I know Baldur wasn't perfect, but he was mine.
I know.
You know? You think you can even begin to understand the pain of losing a child?
Yes, I do.
There was another. Before Atreus?
Her name was Calliope.
Calliope. What happened?
She died.
Never mind. I shouldn't have asked.
I mean, I feel like she gets a free pass. We did kill her child. She kind of gets a free shot asking about our dead child. You know, just saying. Ooh, sneaky bastard. She deserved it. He deserved it. She deserved to live. Bollocks. Bollocks. Kind of a bitch, that one. I like her. But then again, she does represent one of my deities, so I'm kind of gonna like her, aren't I? Can I freeze that? No. Can I freeze it like that? No. Can I set it on fire? No. Okay, fine. If you're boring, just say so. Jesus. Ooh. She showed up and put her boot on your throat. We killed her child. That was probably a nice way of doing it. That spells Karen. Oh, Karens don't have the balls to put their boots on your throat. You get the manager to do it for you. For them. I know what I meant. Hello. Oh. I thought you were my friend. My bad. Excuse me, bitch. Wait your turn. Jesus, there's enough Kratos to go around, baby. That was cringy. I regret everything.
Remember, it won't do any good to attack while their shields are up.
Boop. Well, no, he deserved to die. He was a bit of a dick, you know. Yes, blah blah Durin. Yeah, sneaky bitch. Woo! Where are you? Where are you? I hear you. There you are. Oh. Can you come down? What the fuck do you mean good luck? I'm sorry, pretty creature, but you leave me no choice. Ow. Balls. Can you stop it? Probably not, because I can't stop fucking standing the fire, so why should it stop setting the fire? You know what I mean? Woo. Oh, Jesus. Good? Fucking hell. Give the man his dues. He knows how to put on a show. Good God. Anyway, moving on. You okay there?
We need to get to that watchtower. We'll have to go through the valley, this way.
I know your son's story. You should know my daughter's.
See?
In the service of a cruel god, I was tricked into destroying a village, not knowing my own wife and child were there until their blood stained my hands. I swore revenge.
That's... I can't imagine.
I paid back their blood 1,000 times and burned Olympus to the ground. Yet, the guilt remained. Perhaps you will kill me, Freya, but it will bring you no peace.
Perhaps it is not peace I seek. All those times I found you, why'd you refuse to fight me?
Every outcome would mean defeat.
What does that mean?
I have never wished you harm, Freya. You helped us. You saved Atreus when he was sick. I did not wish to live with killing you, any more than I wished to die.
I see.
Do they become a thing? I'm sensing potential thing vibes. Maybe it's the romance reader within me.
You hear that?
Sadly. He's got a fucking possessed didgeridoo.
Snoken! And so close to the village! Their song makes their allies invulnerable. They will not let you pass unless you destroy them all!
Well, that went well. Woo! Let's not do that. No, 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 no. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Come through. Where's your little singing friend? Oh, there. Do you mind? Come here. Yeah. Big on, foul beast. Okay. Health. Even though I don't need it. Health. This is her village?
I used to play hide and seek with Freyr in the crops. We'd spend afternoons stealing honey bread from the grand hall. At harvest time, we'd dance and feast until the sun rose. It was all so simple. Why did I have to come back?
Aha!
Be reminded of all this.
But, Just make sure. Alright. Not my mouth. Thank you. Oh, aren't they cute shelves? I like it. Very elven. I approve. You seem like you won't die when I hit you. Never mind. Right, hang on then. I'll go this way first. If I can. Can I? No, I've got to turn it back around. Okay. Thank you. Ah, it's a mushroom dude. Hello. Right, so there's going to be a wheel there. Potentially from the other side, maybe? Okay, so that's down to there.
You have to destroy it.
But, oh, God. Oh, what did I do? Use the wrong weapon! Fuck off. Oh, shit. Ow. Heal me. Oops. Going to die. Look for health. Of course there's no health. Fucking fabulous. Let's go. Oop, see health. And I'm dead. Bloody healers. Hey, I need healers. Healers are friends, not food. No. Yep. Right, 1. 2. I know she'll just summon them in. 3. Bring it on. Yeah, I know. Whoa, turn the fuck around, my dude. No. Yep. Wah! No, 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 no. Naughty. Bad thingy. Haha, fuck you. Green. I was busy. No, no, we're not doing that. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna do that instead then, are we? Okay. Bet. God damn it. At least give me a second to kill your little friend. Jesus. Oh, that worked. Right. That didn't work though, did it? Woo! Oh, oh. Okay, don't touch it when it's doing that. Okay. Oh, for the love of God. I will get this. Just you wait. I've got 5 minutes for the ads. Let's see if we can do this. Yes, I know. Whoop. God, at least be like phased by my attack. That would be polite. Oh God, really? Give me your health. Give it to me now. Mine. Shit. Right, we can block those ones. That one we cannot. Oh, fuck. Don't hit it when it's like that, man. Oh, dead again. So how am I meant to... Oh. Like that. Leave me alone. Next time. I feel like it's going to take a hot minute. Or 5. I'm learning. Fuck. Oh, fuck you. That went well. Ooh. Oh. Why does everything take so long to recharge? God damn it. Ow. Whoa. Calm down. Nope. My turn. Oh, not my turn. Look, lady, I think we got off on the wrong foot, okay? Oh no, there's ads coming in a minute. Ah, where's she gone? Ah! Do you fucking mind? No, didn't mind though. Fuck off. Oh, no, 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 no. I worked so hard. I feel you're being very mean. Ah! Ooh. Let me tell you something. Shit. Oh shit, oh bollocks, cunt, fuck. Hot minute because he's all fiery and stuff. Yes, that's exactly why. The ads are about to start though, so that was well timed. So, we'll take a brief 2 seconds. And while the ads are on, I'll give myself a fucking slap. I will get this fight eventually. Maybe's. Hopefully. Oh, my water's leaking. It does this sometimes, as if it's like got too much pressure in it, but it's water. Ah. So how's it going, everybody? Excuse me. Tired, actually. Oh. I'm sorry, am I boring you? No. Well, I might be, but I'm joking. Have a nap? Maybe? Or a really big cup of coffee? Perhaps an energy drink? Or you could go for the good old short circuit and have something really hot followed by something really cold. Like, quickly in succession. And it short circuits your brain and wakes you up a bit. True story. Oh no, I think I just pulled out my headphones. I did pull out my headphones. What I gonna do that for? Oh my goodness. So how many attempts do we think this is going to take? I'm thinking like 7 more. I'm either going to get lucky and get it in the next couple, or I'm going to lose my temper. Very discreetly, obviously, because like very mindful, very demure. 2. Aww. Only 2? That's so nice. That's so nice of you. It's a tricky one. It is for me, anyway. I feel like I've got a hair in my eye, sorry. It's probably an eyelash. I know I'm going to die at least a couple of more times, and it's just like, Thank you for sticking through the ads if you did. If you didn't, I get it. I hate them. I'm not. That's why I bought Turbo. I'm not a fan of ads. Blah, blah, blah. So, let's go die some more. I pressed the right button this time. I pressed the right button. Nah, you're going to get lucky. Like Daft Punk on a second run. Ooh. One more time. I know. Whoa, bitch. Excuse me. Ow. Ow. Right, see that hidden thing it's doing? Avoid that. Just a thought. I have heard avoiding those hits is beneficial. Fucking hell. Ah! Heal. Oh! Oh! Ah! No, definitely gonna die. Dead. One more time. Focus. Alright, this is the one. I know. Right, dead. Dead. Sneaky bitch. Ah, extra sneaky bitch. Will you stop not aiming for her, please? Jesus. Woo! Oh, shit. Woo! No, no. Oh, okay, fine. Fuck you, lady. I think you're a lady. Fuck off. Whoa. Ooh, ooh. Fuck off. Yeah! Woo! No, 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 it's so close! We're so close! Don't do it! Oh my god!
I have fought that one
Really?
You did it! You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would!
Thank you. I told you. Did on 2 tries. I'd like to thank the Academy. No. Thank you for the wow.
You are watching a master at work.
Okay, okay. I mean, I appreciate that as well. But, like, don't let my head get too big. Because nobody wants that happening. But thank you. Right, now that's off. I'm off. Done my bit. That was horrible. I'm glad we were all entertained by that. Now you'll believe me when I say things. No, I won't. No. Shield of Ron crafted, provided. Oh, a protection and healing shield. Oh, your bitch needs that. Yup, yup. Yup, yup, yup. Whee! Oh. Bring it on! Oh, something's healing it. Real fucker. Be gone, bitches. Be gone. How are you still getting healed? Oh. I'm coming for you, little didgeridoo-dad. Hey, Ollie, how are you? Since when the fuck have been able to do that? Bad dog. Down. That emote's so disturbing, yet slightly adorable. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Right? Hang on. I will get you a shouty, my dude. I just need to get the chat to reload. There we are. That's insane. Pandy, hello. How are you, my dear? Oh, my bad. Have a shout out, whoever you are. Try that again. I feel like shit. Oh no, what happened? Are you sick as well? Don't say you got sick. You can't get sick. Oh no. That is not good. That is not good. He best be looking after you, seeing as you looked after him and you're poorly bad because of him. Mm-hmm. You got plenty soups. And fluids. And medicine if you need it. Medication-y stuff. You must get better. Why is that not working? Should I refresh it? Do you think that might help? My head is killing me. I'm hot. Yes, you are, darling. My cat won't shut up. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Excuse me. Ah. Oh, that's not very good. This information does not make us happy. Sorry, I'm just refreshing my shout out thing. And then we can try again. But I just checked and it's only 88 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's not too bad right now. What's that in Celsius? 98 F to C. It's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. But still, plenty of fluids. Like, lots of fluids. You need to flush it out your system. Because you need to get better. We need our Mandy Pandy doing great. He's not. He's away at the minute. I have water. I mean, at least you have water. Was the party good? At least? Did you at least have fun there? I'm going to do the shouty again, and then I will continue with the game. Pinky swear. That took us a minute, you know. I didn't realise what you were saying. I don't say bottle of water like that, do I? Bottle of water. It's a southern thing. To be fair, normally people around here say water instead of water. So it'll be a bottle of water.
Oh my god!
What?
Oh, wow. Smile.
What?
I'm done with that.
What'd
Done
you
with it.
fucking get scared of?
Done with it.
Why are you being so...
Thanks.
Definitely talk to me! And then... I'm over this.
It is. It's water. That's how they say it. Where I am. See, because this is the thing. I technically have a stronger accent off stream. But it's like my telephone voice kicks in when I'm on stream. So I say water. Plenty of fluids. I try to say words correctly, the way they should be spoken and all of that jazz. And then I get off the mic. And it's water. And how. And reet. Deep voices of drunk Irish pub seamen. Wanna water. Indeed. I mean, in all fairness, drunk Irish men of the sea would not want water. It will begin with a W, and it'll end in isky. They want sea legs. Oh, sea legs can be quite handy. I have terrible sea legs, seasick really quickly. Oof. I keep forgetting I can hit things with trees. Handy little talent, that. Tree hitting. Right. Which direction am I meant to go now? This way, probably. Oh. Yeet! I said... I said yeet. Thank you. Jesus. Can't get the staff.
The Grand Hall. It's in ruin.
Oh, shame. I mean, to be fair, a lot of this is in ruin, love. Just saying.
May Freya never waver.
The other half is missing. May she protect us always. An old adage, if you will.
I can hear the dog snoring behind us, right? She's like proper. She's using a pillow like a teddy. Using the arm of the sofa as a pillow. And she is full on snoring. Oh. I knew that.
I hear them inside. Get ready to clear them out.
Whoopsie! Should have moved. I popped his fucking head off. Jesus. Hello, sir. Lovely weather. Woo! Nope, nope. Oh, stupid.
My God! Okay, it's happening.
Hello. Hello.
What's the procedure? Wait. Everybody, calm down.
Hi. How you doing? How was stream? Wait a minute. You forgot to copy your raid message. That's okay. Something bearded dad.
I'm covered in white stuff and I'm all sticky. Don't like it.
Been there. Nobody likes it. Well, okay, some people might like it. So how was the stream? How'd it go? Hey, look, I'm a raider now, Panda. Well, check you out, you multitasking bitch. Hello, Damaged. How are you, my dear? Did you have a good time? Did you catch any new pals? Do tell, do tell. I was playing Pal World thanks to this awesome person. Oh, what fabulous person bought you that? I'm glad you're enjoying it though. I quite enjoy it. I haven't been on it in a couple of days, and I'm getting DTs. So where did you? Lots of pals. But the mama says still too big for me. Yeah, there will be. You could always try and like cheese it the way that Maxwell did. Something to do with the pal ball. And it just shot up into the air. And he killed it with fall damage at like level 7. He didn't catch it though. He just killed it. So what's your favourite pal so far? And welcome in, Raiders. Sorry, I've just realised I didn't do the spiel. I am Panda Pop. This is our channel. We're here for a fun time. Not good gameplay. If you want good gameplay, wrong place. Hello, Duchess, my dear. I tried to get 2 different ones to fight, But my pal sphere wouldn't catch it. Have you been upgrading yourself at the Anubis statue thing? Because I forgot to do that for like 15 levels. And then I was finding it. No. Oh, ha 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 ha. So, that's a thing. Yeah. You know how you can get the little green effigies? I'm level 19. Oh, you're doing well then. So you've got... No, I'm not. Is that no, I'm not 19 or no, I'm not doing well? Oh, I love this song. It's very good. I'll try not to sing along. I'm not sure what level I am. Well, regardless what level you are. Have you found many of the... Bit of Dad's Raid, yeah! Have you found many of the little green effigies that you find dotting about? I think they look like the little leaf Pokemon, which are not Pokemon. A few of the green things. Right, so them green things, in your build options, it'll probably be in your technology at the minute, though. You get the choice. Well, I think you have to build one to upgrade your camp. It's like a PAL statue, but it looks like they call it an Anubis. It looks like an Egyptian dog. I have the Anubis statue. Right. So there, you use the PAL souls to upgrade your PALs, and you use those effigies to upgrade your catch strength. And yeah, that'll help a little bit. You're welcome. Have you done any dungeons yet? Have you found any dungeons? I promise I'll get back on the gameplay in a second. I'm just curious. And I said, hey. I've done one dungeon in the first tower thing. Oh, well done. Very good. Very good. I'm going to be playing that after I'm finished on here. Not going to lie. But, speaking of on here, we are currently playing God of War Ragnarok. You've just missed me die like 15 times. However, Ace did call it. Ace was like, you're going to get it in the next 2. And by gosh golly, I did. Skin of my motherfucking teeth. I literally had like a mosquito's nutsack worth of health left. And I fucked it up. It was great. But I was still right. Of course, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were still right. Got to get some tea in a second, as in a cup of tea or some food. Both are totally things you should go and do. Anyone else that needs to go and do like ready after stream things, by all means, get yourself cups of tea because it's freezing. Or coffee if you're not a tea drinker. No one's perfect. Anyway, let's go do some shitty gameplay. Food, but a cuppa does sound good. What are you going to get for food? It's 21 degrees at my desk. It ain't fucking 21 degrees here. Right. Hello. Ah, no. That one. Who are you? What do you want? Go away. Ah. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Ah. Right, we don't all need to turn up at once, okay? I'm not very happy with this arrangement. Fuck off. Right, one at a time. I chopped her in half. Bacon sandwich. Oh. You saucy bastard. Oh, I want a bacon sandwich now. Come get me, fucker. Ah! Know what I meant? Mine. It's fine, I'll make my own bacon sandwich. What are they calling me? Fuck you! Well, that was just fucking rude. You deserved it. She deserved it. Oh, you can sod off. Woo! Look at him, just not even flinching. That's just rude. Ow. Yep, that'll hurt. Will you feck off? And then. This time. Hello, Hellfang, how are you? But they just want hugs. Well, I don't give a shit. I don't do hugs. How's it going? How are you doing? A minute, just do a
Oh, you have light.
Finally. Daniel, if you're here, I'm going to find you.
Oh dear. Doing well there. I am. You're very welcome. Do you know, I know I've got a load of mods, but I feel like it's just so they have a sword next to their name. Not for them, they're great. I just always instantly do the shouties. They're there to make sure I don't do too, like, stupid stuff.
I hear them inside.
Yeah,
Get
I
ready to
know.
clear them out.
You know what? I'm gonna go for this one first. Fuck you, bitch. Whoopa! Oh, I didn't see that one. Woo! Saw that one though. I don't know where the fuck I was meant to throw that. Where did you go? There you are. Hello. Whoopa! I don't think so. Right, I think this can fucking do one for a minute, hear me. Woo! Oh, shit, nope. Two minutes. I'll be right with ya. Big guy. Fuck you! Right, can you block, please? That would be great. Okay, are we good? We done? No. Right, what are you saying? I didn't scream like a girl because of a hand closing a closet. Me neither. Me neither. I've set mine up to insta shout certain people out. Really confused my mods to begin with. I do need to do that. I know I've been saying it for ages, but I'm actually going to do it this time. Seeing as it's going to probably be impossible for me to leave the house for the next couple of days, I'm going to do that thing where the VIPs get instant shout outs and walk-ons and whatever. Well, walk-ons. I don't know if I can do the instant shout outs. Because I know you've made a couple of videos on it and I'm going to actually do them. I've watched the videos, I've just not done it yet. I still got to beat that game. A goddamn horror game with kind of permadeath is not okay. Any horror game's not okay. Permadeath horror games should be illegal. Hi, Griffin. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Are we done now?
It wasn't a...
Do you want to come and say hello? Say hi, Griffin. How's everybody doing? Can you see the pretty Griffin? He says hello. Okay, baby. He's such a pretty kitty. Aren't you such a pretty kitty? Hi. How you doing, buddy? Can you hear him purr? I can see the microphone moving, but I don't think you can hear him purr. Good boy for putting your nose up against there to try and let them hear you. That was very cute. We can. Yay! If you die in Song of Horror, you select another character for the chapter. But on top of that, your previous character becomes a stalker enemy. Oh my god, no. No, thank you. Mm-mm. Can I put you down? Can I put you down? He's like, no, quite comfortable here, thank you very much. I need to pick up my controller then. Thank you, he's cleaning my hand. You need to get down, my dude. You said hello to the people. The people have witnessed your beauty. It is time to leave. Thank you, good boy. Oh, right into his bed. I am picking you up.
What Odin
Not
did
yet.
to me. He's desecrated
Right.
every memory I have of home.
We did it.
Be glad you have a home to remember fondly.
Yes.
In Sparta, we were taken from our homes as children and raised in the Agogi. We marched or we drowned, fought for scraps or starved. Our elders beat us till we could not stand. At night, we made our way home, alone, or were food for wolves.
Bullying.
That
Also,
is
my
how
mod is a
Spartans
dick.
are made.
Hey, you know this game that relies on you being about to hear. Just spend 5 minutes. Throw your headphones off. Oh. Slightly mean. You can't say spotted tick? Apparently, yes, you can. To be fair, I'm surprised that actually got flagged up because there are so many words and phrases on here that have been given the okay. Apparently you saying that your mod is a dick was bullying. Sounds like my whole community. I mean, I'm starting to feel that now, yeah, because my community decided to... Well, I say my community, obviously it's mainly all of your community that I just infiltrated. Have got me playing fucking Crash Bandicoot, and I died 79 times. Oh, Pandy's not well. We should send Pandy love. Pandy love. Rookie numbers. Give me time. Give me time. That was only the first stream. How'd you die 79 times? I was unsuccessful at living. I'm an innocent panda and you can't prove it otherwise. This is very true. Pandy is such an innocent panda. On the first stream. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wasn't holding back at all. The failure is strong in this one. I don't know what this was about. I'm starting to get some drops here. That's unacceptable. Oh, there we go. Griffin's like, okay. I've seen the people. They've heard my cuteness. I'm gonna go fuck up the house now. Okay. What's back here? Hi.
Do you want some toast or anything?
No, I should be okay. Could I possibly ask for another cup of tea? Thank you. See, bearded, someone's nice to me. With honey, please. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. I can't go back to sleep. Cat screaming at me woke me up. Aww. Can you not just snuggle it into submission? That's what I do with Griffin. Like, I think collectively my highest death count was 130 in Blasphemous. I died more times in Crash Bandicoot in the first hour and a half than I think I have total died in Elden Ring. We will fix that. Come back when Ace is cursing your birth. I don't think Ace would curse my birth. No, he thinks it's time for food, so he decided to climb all over us. And it wasn't even food time. Oh, that old... Gizzy, the black fluffy fluff that I've got, she did that before. She knows when feedy time is. Feedy time is 5 PM. They get fed in the morning. There's always dry food out. And there's always fresh water. But they get meat in the morning. And they get some on the night at 5 PM. As soon as 4 o'clock hits, motherfucker doesn't shut up. She loves daylight savings time because then when 4 o'clock hits, she's right. And we need to feed her. Run, Travis! I can't leave food out for him. He'd be a ball, yeah. Me mum's, well, my mum's dogs, like, our cats aren't too bad, but, like, for Bella, I leave little... I can't remember what they're called. They're just, like, little squidgy meat cube things. They're not meat cubes, but they're dry food. I'm not describing them very well. But they're a dry food. And I'll leave them out for no problem. If you did that with my mum's dog, gone. Even if you put 2 bowls worth down, gone. Fucker is a barrel with feet. He's a very old barrel with feet though, so I'll let him off. I'm assuming I actually was meant to go through that blue stuff. Okay. Blue. Am I gonna burn? Am I gonna die? If I die...
These plants behave similarly to the scorn poles we found in the foothills of Midgard ages ago.
Ah! I remember these. And why can't you go outside? Because at the minute it's been snowing here. And it's meant to snow again tonight. So we currently have a lot of like slush outside because it was snowing through the night, it's rained through the day. It's gonna snow and freeze overnight. So that means there's going to be a lot of black ice, there's going to be a lot of slippy parts, and because of my spinal injury, if I fall over, I have to go get checked out in a hospital to make sure I haven't damaged anything further. I already have nerve damage in my leg, which means they can't... Thank you. Which means they can't fully trust. Like, you know, say you've got a bad back, you've got sciatica or something. If you fall over and you suddenly get numbness in your toes, or if you lose feeling in certain parts, they need to send you in because that's permanent nerve damage that can't be reversed, and they need to see how it's happened and if they can fix it. I already have nerve damage off my first accident. Well, off me accident first time round, so they can't rely on me being like, no, I feel fine. That was a really long-winded way of saying that, sorry. Oh, so that one's okay. Okay, fine.
Well, considering how Spartans are made, it's no wonder you turned out as you did. Your fate was sealed from the start.
Fate can be overcome.
We had no snow here. Well, look at you.
When the Norns told me of my son's fate, I thought I could change.
He's not due any, though.
You know well how that worked out.
We had snow last night. We're meant to get snow tonight.
You defied prophecy
And
at
then
your
rain.
own peril.
So the snow's going to turn into sleet. And then it's always minus numbers in the night time, so it's just going to be black ice. I just thought it was because of Nova virus. Guess that's been hitting hard in London. Not seeing any on the weather app. Well, fingers crossed you don't get any snow then. No, I've just getting over... I don't know what I had, to be honest. I think I got it 2 weeks before Christmas. And I've still got a bit of a cough and a little bit of phlegm on my chest. But in comparison, I'm absolutely sound now. But it took us 3 weeks to get over whatever it was. And it was not pleasant. I've had COVID 3 times, and that was much more preferable to whatever the fuck I've just had. Housemate got it, and she was better in a week. Sort of. She still coughs now, actually. But the fever disappeared in a week. I still had a fever for 2 weeks. Not fair. There's another one. There's Nova virus, but there was something else going around. It began with a C. It's not COVID. I certainly don't think it's like, you know, cholera. But it was something.
Atreus would agree with you about prophecy.
I think everywhere's got some kind of nasty bug going around, though. I mean, poor Pandy's not very well.
Champion, fabled to fight at Ragnarok.
I know all the Ragnarok prophecies. There's no champion of the giants.
It is one glow concealed. Because of this champion, the realms are saved at Ragnarok.
Sorry,
Only
the
as
telly was
God
going to turn
falls,
itself off.
And Odin with it.
So all this time, Odin's obsession with every
I'm
detail
alive,
of
so I'm
Ragnarok,
fine.
he's
That's
been
what I
missing a
say.
crucial piece.
Just stay that way.
Well done, bro.
Right, did I miss something? Just in case. Did up there, got that chest, came up here, got that chest. I'll take my axe. Think I'm starting to come down with something. Chest's been tight for the last few days. Throat hurts and loads of coughing. Yeah, it sounds about right. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but everyone has been... It's been doing its rounds, like. I mean, like Fang said, Nova virus is hitting London hard, so it wouldn't surprise us if it was up here as well. There's definitely something absolutely fucking all of us up. I know you're a little bit further south than I am, but...
Atreus will not be a pawn
Still.
of prophecy.
You still stand against fate.
Ah.
Even with victory foretold.
I will not march my son to war.
Cholera would be on point for London. You have... Yep. I can't even disagree.
You would speak to me of protecting your child? Is my tragedy not enough of a lesson?
No.
Fighting fate is a waste of the precious time we're given to spend with them.
There's been a really bad fever going around my town lately. They can't figure out what it is. It's not COVID, not flu, and not a normal cold. It's what they were saying up here as well. Because you get flu-like symptoms, but they're a lot more intense. Like, my bones hurt. when I had the fever, it was a really high fever and my bones hurt. That's what it felt like anyway. And most people I know that have had the bug that I caught, they also like literally cannot eat for a good 3-4 days. Some of them can't even keep water. My nephew couldn't even keep water down for very long. Thankfully, it passed. That phase of it passed quite quickly with him. I think it was 2 days, maybe. I can't make jokes on London no more. They'll send the constable after me. Oh, you'll be fine. Just give him some whiskey. Yes, I hope you feel better soon as well, Pandy. You need to feel better soon. You deserve to be perfect health and feeling super good. That was totally the politically correct way of putting it. Okay, not that way. Not that way either. Is it stuck? It's stuck, isn't it? Yeah. I knew that. Okay, I'm gonna look and do some bits. No problem. Thank you for coming in. And thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. Nope. No. I only have malts. I mean, to be fair, as long as it's a booze, they'll probably be quite happy. My joints are not feeling great. My head's sort of pounding. Not long after I woke up, started to get a fever, so I'm really hoping this is as bad as it gets.
What about the crane?
Well, fingers crossed that's
Can
as
you
bad
turn
as it
it
gets
somehow?
for you. Paracetamol if you can. Do you have like vapor rub and stuff over there? I imagine you would. It's not really a unpopular British only thing. Thank you very much for the biddies, but stop it. That is a cool duck though. You made that a sticker, didn't you? We do. My boyfriend didn't know what it was. Really? Wow. We like make our own.
Can you swing that torch to the other side and burn the bramble blocking your path?
Alright, Smarty Pants, give us a minute. No. Oh. Okay, smart ass. I didn't see that.
You can probably use those islands to get a better angle on the torch, no?
Probably. Come on, burn it.
Use your blades to swing the torch.
Yes,
to the other
yes,
side.
yes. Bossy. And then whoop. Hey, we did it.
Let's cross the bridge.
Hello.
now.
Do you want to come back? Come on in. So he was told his Mexican card is going to be revoked by one of his really good friends. Even my ghost self was shocked he didn't know what it was. Yeah? If he's also Mexican, I'm very surprised. But you can't just sit on my knee. I'm still busy. I'll not be busy for long, though. Hmm? Griffin has decided it is time. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. They really should have added a button for Kratos to see didn't need directions. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all know I need them sometimes. But, yeah. Griffin, to mine. You okay there, bud? Hmm? What are you doing? Hmm? Are you gonna get down? Or are you gonna stay there? What are you doing? Hello. Okay, you just balance on the end of my knee then. Totally normal. I'm busy, baby. Like, the lines don't even flow naturally, because when you triggered part of the puzzle, her hint cut off midway through. Yeah. Right. Thank you. That was very nice of you. Thanks for washing me hand. I'm busy. As soon as I get the next checkpoint, we're going to find someone to raid, okay?
Anyone alive be squeamish about war? After all the gods you've killed.
I have seen enough war to know the cost.
Right, so we need that.
After the price I paid to end one?
Oh, well, there's one.
See what happens. True evil.
I'm sure I saw the other one. Where did I see that? Griffin, you're probably a pain in the bum. Don't you dare. Lift it. Don't. Ah. I just feel this little wriggly tail. Right, one down there I've just done. Where did I see the other one? Is it over there? Yes. Ah, okay. I know how I've got to hit it. Go. I agree though, it would be good if there was a bit where you could just like, okay, I know what I'm doing, thank you very much. Shut up. We have a horn of blood mead. Ooh. Collected 2 of 3.
Alright, now back to the task at hand.
Yes, 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 I'm coming. In a minute. Are you done now? Okay, good. You'll be back in a minute. He's decided he wants snuggles now, and the longer I take, the more irritating he will become. Oh, we have ads starting in 1 minute. Oh, hang on, hang on. Oh, my bad. Oh, God. Oh.
That's one of Odin's captains. Be ready.
Snooze ads. I want to do it. I want it. Woo! You! Wee! Shit. Oh God. Really? Oh! Ow! 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 Ah! Oh! Will you just fucking behave yourself? Bollocks. Nope, dead, dead. Oh! Yeah! Jesus! We won. Okay. So I feel like this is a good place to save. I'm going to dismiss the ads and we're going to find somebody to raid. Who to raid though? Right, hang on. Ooh, adjust how I am sitting because, good God. Ouch. Ooh, hope you didn't hear that. That was a pop. All right. So. If you think it's time to fucking rock and fucking roll out of control. I love this song. My fucking cock. So, raid. He is going to kick your fucking ass. Rockin' and fucking rolling and fucking rockin' and fucking rolling. Yes, it is raid time. Who do we raid though? This song is so distracting. If you're listening to Tenacious, you can't hear? Really? Oh! How dare it? I mean, it kind of makes it funnier that you literally have just had to listen to me doing that. I wonder how many songs you haven't been able to hear. I will fix this. We do have some options. I'll go through them. Yeah, I'm going to assume all of them. So there's all these times I've been singing along to songs and you'll just be like, is she okay? I mean, the answer's no. But I will fix that. No, it's just when I'm on the chat screen, I tend to have music on. I wonder how long that hasn't been playing for. That's just naughty as shit. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Right, so our options are... We have Phasmophobia, Lethal Company, hi Aggie, did you mute your Spotify source? No. It's on there. Just sometimes it does it where it'll just, you know how you've got to like select the execution, whatever. It'll just be a pain in the arse sometimes and not work. Do we want to stick to God of War? Because if we want to stick to God of War, we can raid somebody that we've not raided before. Mine normally works just every now and then. It'll be an absolute smeg. Networking! Fuck yeah. Let's have a look then. That's not in English. Crash Wrath of Cortex. Who's Wrath of Cortex? Is their username Wrath of Cortex? Or are we on about something I'm not keeping up with that's in Spanish? No, just the game. Oh. It's been a pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I too must away, but I wish you all the best. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for sticking around for the entire thing too. I appreciate you greatly. Next time you're streaming, I shall be there. Even if I'm just lurking in the background like I normally do. But thank you very much. I hope you have a good night and a good sleep whenever you do sleep. This one's in English. Let's have a look. I'm just assuming none of us are fluent in Spanish or Portuguese or anything. Could be wrong, obviously. Lurks are life. Until next time, goodbye. Well, not everybody's fluent in Spanish. No, that one's a no. Okay, so we're not going to be doing God of War or networking, it would appear. Back on to the people that are here. There's Enshrouded. What do we think? Enshrouded? Lethal Company, Dead by Daylight, Phasmophobia, Enshrouded. Or Farm Sim 25. Oh, or I do have somebody playing Wuthering Waves, which is the game that Mr. Maxwell was playing the other night. I think we should do that. Because horror games on a Sunday, I don't know. I would have went and seen Papa Bear, but I think he's off now. Of course it doesn't play his bloody shout out. Honestly. Terrible. I've been in Silver's streams quite a bit. He's good peeps. He is good peeps. No, mi español es una mierda. Well, if your Spanish is terrible, I think that's what that is. That's shit. I can't remember. It's shit. I thought it was. But yes, if your Spanish is shit, then we probably should avoid l'español. Mine evidently is also shit, but at least enough to read it. Right, so we have raid message 1. Raid message 2. I can't believe my Spotify hasn't worked this entire time. I mean, I can. It's me. But there we go. So it works. Right. Start raid. So, my dear, lovely, wonderful people, thank you very much for being here with me tonight. I appreciate you all greatly. I'm glad you've all turned up. Thank you very much, Bearded, for the raid. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you for everybody that resubbed. You are amazing and I love you very, very much. We will be back on Thursday, but no doubt I will see you in the chats of other streams or your own streams if you choose to stream anytime through the week. But thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you. There's a good chance that my end screen isn't going to have Spotify on because this thing is stupid. And in order to fix it, I need to go into a sound screen thing. So, I'll just wait until we're about to go. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I see you soon. You're awesome.